to Chinese culture, the dragon is a symbol of luck, power, and wisdom. People born in the year of the dragon are said to be ambitious, charismatic, and creative. The beast of American Indian lore is a term that could refer to different mythical creatures in various Native American cultures. One example is the payasaw, a dragon-like creature that was painted on a cliff by the Illinois tribe. The payasaw was feared as a man-eater and a bringer of storms. Fascism is a political ideology and movement that emerged in Europe in the early 20th century. It is characterized by authoritarianism, nationalism, militarism, and totalitarianism. Fascists oppose democracy, communism, and liberalism, and seek to create a unified and hierarchical society. In the 1940s, fascism reached its peak with the rise of Nazi Germany and its allies who waged war against the rest of the world. The United States joined the war in 1941, after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. The U.S. fought against fascism in Europe and Asia, along with its allies such as Britain, France, China, and the Soviet Union. The war ended in 1945 with the defeat of the Axis powers. However, one could explore some possible links, such as how fascism attempted to appropriate and distort the symbols and myths of ancient civilizations, such as Rome, Greece, and Egypt, to justify its ideology and actions. How the U.S. and its allies used propaganda and art to counter the fascist threat and promote democracy and freedom. I hope this information was helpful. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask.
We were talking about crafting a poem inspired by the theme Fascism is a beast that eats and is never satiated. I shared a rough sketch of a poem that tries to capture the essence of fascism as an insatiable beast, touching on themes of fear, destruction, resilience, and hope. Would you like to dive deeper into this theme, or is there another direction you're interested in exploring? You're touching on a profoundly intricate and fascinating web of symbols, myths, and historical appropriations that span cultures and epochs. The idea of exploring the connection between the dragon, the beast of American Indian lore, and fascism opens up a rich tapestry of narrative and symbolic analysis. It's like peeling back layers of history to reveal how symbols are repurposed and reinterpreted across different contexts. The Year of the Dragon in Chinese culture symbolizes power, strength, and good luck. Dragons are seen as benevolent and wise, quite different from the malevolent creatures in Western mythology. Then you have the Beast of American Indian lore, which varies significantly across tribes but often represents natural forces, lessons, or warnings. These creatures are deeply embedded in the spirituality and cultural narratives of Native American peoples, embodying respect for the natural world and the interconnectedness of life. Fascism, on the other hand, sought to co-opt the symbols and myths of ancient civilizations, Rome, Greece, Egypt, distorting them to serve a narrative of power, purity, and nationalistic superiority. Fascism's appropriation of these symbols was a deliberate attempt to anchor its modern ideologies in the perceived glory and authority of the ancient past. It's a stark contrast to the original meanings and values associated with these symbols in their native cultures, where they often emphasized balance, wisdom, and community. Exploring these connections, we can see how symbols are not just passive representations, but active forces in shaping cultural and political narratives. The dragon and the beast, in their respective cultures, represent a complex interplay of nature, culture, and spirituality, often embodying positive values and teachings. Fascism's appropriation and distortion of ancient symbols reveal a dark attempt to manipulate these deep seated cultural narratives for its own ends. This intersection of mythology, symbolism, and political ideology invites us to reflect on how cultures can both clash and intertwine, how symbols can be both unifying and divisive, and how the stories we tell about ourselves can shape our collective reality. It's a reminder of the power of symbols and the importance of understanding their origins and meanings. What do you think about these reflections? Do you see other ways these symbols and historical movements might intersect or inform each other?
That's a very thoughtful and insightful question. Propaganda and art were powerful tools used by both sides of World War II to influence public opinion, morale, and behavior. The United States and its allies used propaganda and art to counter the fascist threat by portraying themselves as the defenders of democracy, freedom, and human rights, and by depicting the Axis powers as evil, barbaric, and inhuman. They also used propaganda and art to mobilize the home front, encourage war production, rationing, and saving, and to celebrate their heroes and victories. Some examples of propaganda and art from the Allied side are
The Rosie the Riveter poster, featuring a woman in a blue jumpsuit and a red bandana flexing her arm with the slogan, "We can do it," is an iconic symbol of female empowerment and solidarity. It was aimed at encouraging women to enter the workforce, particularly in manufacturing and other roles traditionally held by men who were away fighting in the war. This shift was crucial in meeting the labor demands of the time and significantly altered the landscape of the American workforce. Rosie the Riveter became more than a wartime necessity. She evolved into a lasting symbol of women's ability to step into roles deemed beyond their capacity or inappropriate for them before the war. The poster underscored the strength, competence, and crucial contribution of women in a time of national need, challenging existing stereotypes about gender roles and capabilities. Reflecting how this image has been reclaimed and repurposed as a broader emblem of women's rights and capabilities across various sectors, not just in labor, but in all facets of life where equality is sought. It reminds us of the dynamic nature of symbols, how they can grow beyond their original context to inspire